What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have question number 36 of the database oriented video series. So far we have been designing all these tables and we have been relating all these tables that we have created. So in this question what we are going to do is a brand new thing. We are going to introduce the concept of views. So views is basically another concept that we discussed in this database oriented system concepts. So let me just briefly explain what is a view. So view is basically, in my perspective, a view is like a variable, but instead of storing numbers, text, integers, strings, and other types of things that variables use to store, views store queries. That means SQL queries. Views can store SQL queries and we can take those views out when we need to. So for example, I'm going to answer these questions one by one, and I'll be explaining how we can use these views. So our first question is, create a view to find the registered customers at Aralia Shoe Center. So it's very easy. If you are going to find these registered customers, you just have to use a select query. So I'll just write a select query. Select all customers from, you have to mention our database dot. Now you have to use the user table. So this is the query. So once you press F9, you will have all the details of all the users who are registered in this system. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to store this result in a view. So what I'm going to do is select create view, and you have to give a name, create view. So I'll just give it a name, registered customers. Just give it a name like this, registered customers, and I have to give it as select all. So once I press F9, this view is created, and you can refresh the whole server. Just refresh this. So once you open it, you can see that this view is created. So registered customers view has been created. So you can select it, and these are the data which is stored in this view, or you can just simply see what's in the view as select all from, mention the database where the view is situated. So here we have our view, select it and run the query. So once you run it, you get the result which is stored in this query. Now I think you can understand what you can do using a SQL view. So that's the end of the first question. We discussed the first part now. Okay, now we are asked to create another view to find the details of more than 10 products with brand name Bata. Okay, so here what I am going to do is select all from product. First I have to mention the database dot the product table, where I have to give the brand name as Bata. So we have to write a let's look at the table again. So in the product table, so we just have to find okay, you can use the GRN item table. So instead of using the product table, I'll use the GRN item table, where the quantity should be greater than 10. Okay, I can use the invoice item, or you can do something like this. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all from the grn underscore item table. So first we have to mention the database dot grn item table, and I'm going to inner join this. I'm going to inner join this with the product table. The product table, and I'm going to give the condition as, so when you are connecting you have to give a condition grn underscore item, and the product ID of this column should be equal to the product ID of the product table. So you have to give, when you are mentioning the details of columns, you have to mention that inside grave essence. And also I am going to inner join the brand table here also, because we have to mention the brand as Bata. So inner join again, inner join, mentioning the database dot the brand table on the condition the brand ID of the product table should be equal to the brand ID of the brand table. And our final condition is that means according to the question, our quantity, that means QTY should be, that means this QTY should be the QTY of the GRN item table. GRN item table should be greater than 10 according to the question, and also the brand name should be Bata. Okay, that's the end of the query, and just run this. Okay, now we have the full query. We have the full query like this, but we don't need all these details. We by using the asterisk mark we requested all these details, but we don't actually need all these details. So what I am going to need is, I need the product ID. I need the product ID, and just have to mention that in grave essence, and we'll be needing the product name, and also the product description, and also the brand name also will be needing that. And again we'll be needing the GRN item column, sorry, the unit price of the GRN item table. We'll be needing that also, and we'll be needing the selling price as well. GRN underscore item dot the selling price. I guess yeah, we'll need the quantity also. GRN underscore item dot, we need the quantity also, and yeah, that's it. Okay, once we run this, we get only this result. We only need these details. So then finally we are going to what I'm going to do is I'm going to open another query tab and create view. We are going to create a view as create view. I'm going to give it as product details. I'm going to name the view as product details, and you have to give as, that means the query that we are going to save as. Now we have our query right here. Just copy the whole thing and paste it here, then end it with a semicolon. So once you run it F9, and I'll just refresh the database. Now when I open it, I have another view which is called product details. So inside that product details, we have all these data. If you want to check out what's in the view, you can use this also. You can use select all from, mention the database where the view is situated, and I have my product details view and press F9. So you get this result that we saved as the view. Okay, so that's the end of the second question. Okay, next one, find the name of the product with the highest selling price. Okay, now we have to find the product with the highest selling price. Okay, so that one is simple. You just have to select all from just have to mention the database, then the product table. I mention the product table, and I'm going to inner join that with, just mention the database. I'm going to inner join that with the GRN item table. And I'm going to give the condition as product ID of the GRN table should be equal to product ID of the product table. And also I had to give the condition here now where GRN underscore item dot selling price, the selling price of the GRN item table should be maximum. So this should be equal to, now I am going to write a subquery. So select max selling price, select max selling price, or you can just write it like this, GRN item dot max selling price. So that means the maximum selling price of the GRN item table, and you have to mention from GRN item table because you are selecting that maximum value from the GRN item table, and you have to end it with a semicolon. And yeah, okay, there's a small mistake here. Select all from RLA choose center where the product inner join. Okay, should be an inner join. Okay, now we have the data now what we have to do is we have to save this in a view. So just going to create a view, create view max selling price as this one. Okay, duplicate column. Okay, so without this part, once you run the query, you have this. So there are two product IDs. So if you are going to save it in a view, you first have to rename the column. So what I am going to do is, instead of selecting all the columns, I am going to select the selected number of columns. Okay, so my first column is, I am going to select the product name. So from the product table, select product name from the product table. So product name from the product table, comma. Okay, we only need the product table. So once I run this, I get only the product name of the selling price which has the highest selling price. So create view max selling product as, okay, now I executed the query. Let's refresh the database. Okay, let's open this again. Okay, now we have another view. So once you select it, we have the data which is stored, which is only this one. So I'm going to select that view again. So select all from the database dot now we have the answer. Okay, that's the end of the third question. So the least selling price, it's just very easy. You just have to name it like this: create view lowest selling product as, just copy the same, thing. Just copy the same thing from here and just leave a space and paste it here. Now instead of writing maximum here, just write minimum and run the query. So when I just refresh the whole thing again, I have the least selling product here. So the data is Bata config. So if I open another query tab and select that, select all from the database dot the least selling product. Once I run this, I get the answer which was saved as like that. Okay, so that's how you deal with views in database management system. So I'll meet you guys in the next video, that is question number 37. So until then, bye guys.